Nair and Rohit Srivastava, who's with us from Sharekhan. Rohit, good morning. Great to have you with us here. So we are at new highs, almost at new highs. I don't want to make too much of yesterday's market reaction, but it's pretty ominous. Almost a new high on the day of Diwali, and then the market sells off 60 points on the Nifty. Is it a sign of things to come? Are we in for what happened in November 2010? Or you think the underlying momentum is still pretty strong?
Okay, I think yesterday's indication is an early indication. We would probably want to see further confirmation by a break of 6160. But my sense is that you've at least completed one leg here from the low of August or rather early September from around 5100 where the rally started. By the end of September you were already at 6140, so at that point it looked like that leg was complete. I thought the market would sell off, and from there it's continued to stretch for most of the last month, essentially because the mid-caps which at that time had not caught up with the market. The last 1 month they've actually caught up in the sense that if you just measure from the high to today, the Nifty is up barely 2% from 6142 to around 6250, 6280, whereas the broader market indices are up around 8 to 9% if you go from the high of September to today. The BSE mid-cap index would have gained around 8.5 to 9%. So there's been a significant outperformance by the broader indices during October. So what you really need to see is strength coming back to the main indices if you really want this rally to continue. So what I would look for first is a short-term correction and then weigh in whether there is more upside. But essentially I would think that there is risk to the downside from here.
Rohit, but have you been surprised by this move, or you've been flexible and sort of traded up as well as the market went higher?
I think I'm surprised from the point of view that between 6142 and 6250 the way the broad market behaved, because once you are already at 6150, my target for the market was not more than 6250 at the beginning of September when I wrote my long short report. So that report said that you could get that far, and since you were just 100 points away, it looked like something was complete, and the market did fall to 5700 afterwards. So in that point of time the mid caps had really not participated that much, so I thought maybe they had just not got the strength. So in that sense, yes, I was surprised by this move beyond 6140. So the last 200 points is something that I've really missed out on because I was looking at the market making some kind of top, but the scene remains the same because most of the indicators that I'm looking at are diverging. They're showing that at higher and higher prices the main indices are actually losing momentum, but you're seeing a lot of activity happen on the sideline, which is basically speculative activity, and that's usually not a good sign. It happens at medium term tops, and so I really want to be careful at this point. We'd really not advise people to go and invest thinking that a bull market has started. Let the market tell us that in the days to come.
In pockets of strength, would you still continue to plow in more money? IT has been a stronghold up until now. Few stocks in the pharma space have been doing well. So in these specific pockets, while you may not advise fresh investments in some of the other mid-cap names, but pillars of strength, they continue to attract investment?
See, the tech sector has attracted attention, but it's also maybe overdone. And again, then in auto sector, you're seeing one single stock perform, which is Telco. Bajaj Auto is still below its all-time high. So you're seeing this, and same with Mahindra and Mahindra. So you're seeing this deviation everywhere. In case of banking stocks, the bank index retraced 61%. You saw strength in private banks in September. You're seeing strength in the last 5 days in public sector banks, but not so much in private sector banks. So you're seeing a very narrow movement in very particular stocks. And I'm not able to sense that there's a particular sector that is very strong. FMCG, which was strong in the previous quarter, has been an underperformer this quarter. Pharma stocks have done well, but I'm not so sure. I mean, pharma might be the one defensive area that I might still continue to look at because there's no trend reversal as yet. So we are looking for signs whether further extensions on the upside can happen. And the only other the area which I would look at if you're investing is actually the petroleum stocks, because my sense is that oil prices have started heading lower, and that could benefit companies like HPCL or BPCL.
Some participation. Rohit, I mean, you are again a large broker. Are you seeing anything?
We've seen some amount of participation or improvement in trading by people in October, but definitely not in September. So when you got the 1,000-point Nifty rally, that really showed no change in the daily activity, but we've seen an improvement in activity in the last month. But once again, can we say it's back to the good old days? Definitely we are not there. But it's just a good improvement over what we were doing earlier. So its continuation definitely depends on the market itself doing very well, and sometimes it takes a significant move beyond. I mean, probably the participation only starts after 6,500, and people wake up and say we've really missed out and let's just jump in, So that's when it really happens. Till that point of time, people are just trying to patch the old wounds.
Rohit, I was asking this question, as I put this to Sarvendra yesterday and others as well. So, very broadly speaking, should one ignore the 30-40 names which have done well, and that might be sort of exaggerating a little bit, the list is smaller than that, I guess. Should we forget about that and focus on, if you've not participated so far, and if you're getting in a serious way and you've got you have a method in place, and you decide this is what I'm going to do, so what should you do? Because if you buy the things which have done well, you're essentially betting on liquidity and betting on the fact that you'd be able to sell it to somebody at a higher price, period. Liquidity will sort of lift all boats up. But the beaten downs, if you find something good and you're willing to hold on, maybe you're betting on real earnings trajectory, turnaround and things like that. So what should one be doing, Rohit?
See, right now, the fact is it is a liquidity-driven market. Even now, people are still confused whether it's anything else. So everyone's doing an if and but, just like in your discussion earlier. Essentially what you have is, the Feds or even the Reserve Bank here being much easier on rates than they should be relative to inflation, which is why the market is taking it so well. So if it's a liquidity-driven rally and you're getting into an illiquid stock, the chances when that liquidity dries up, even for the short term, the chances of an exit become really difficult. I'll give you an example. I was looking at a stock which moved up, say from 12 to 15, 18 rupees, and the daily volume is some 5 to 8 lakh shares. Now if you just not even that much, in some cases just 1 to 2 lakh shares. Now if you calculate the amount of money that it takes to do that volume, it's some 5 to 10 lakh rupees. You could do the entire volume of a particular stock. So how do you really get out of something which is doing just 8 to 10 lakh rupees worth of volume? Should you even get into something like that is a serious question. So unless you have a macro view on the market, I don't think you should really get into something like that, because tomorrow when you'll be looking for an exit, you'll find that there are only 10,000 shares being traded or there are no buyers all the way down, and that could be a very, very difficult situation.